following live stream may include adult language and themes. How could we know for sure? Hasn't happened yet. Anyway, viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. I'm James Downey, and this is Grimstone Gaming's Tabletop Turntable, the show where we're spinning stories by way of rotating through game systems, players, and game masters. Welcome back! Fear not, friends, your game master has not changed. I'm merely lacking in my formerly featured follicular facial festoonery. I am, however, joined tonight by five wonderful people. Let's take the moment to meet them. So first of all, let's start with Meg. Why don't you tell them about yourself, who you are, and then also why don't you tell them? Give me 1 second. Would you rather your only mode of transportation be a donkey or a giraffe?
Obviously a giraffe.
But also,
I'm
who are
Margaret
you?
Alice, by the way. They call me Meg, so you can too. And I would totally ride a giraffe with. I would get like a big. I don't know the name of them, but you know, like a carrier that goes on its back, and I would have like pillows and stuff in there to just like. Yeah.
How luxurious. Okay. Michael, tell them about yourself, and then why don't you tell them? Would you rather give up social media or eat the same dinner for the rest of your life?
Really?
Oh, Lord.
Although it probably is harder than I expected.
I'm Margaret Williams. I am going to be doing the doodling tonight, and I would give up social media in a heartbeat.
I already have for the most part.
I mean, yeah, I really only have TikTok. That's it for me. And
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I would rather be off social media entirely anyway. But that's
And
okay.
if you made me choose the dinner, it would be a feast of egg rolls.
Oh, really?
All right.
You wouldn't get sick of them after a while?
No.
Okay.
Sam, tell us, who are you? And would you rather have to write everything you say out by hand or only be able to speak in rhymes?
Oh, God. Well, hi, I'm Sam Hawkins. I'm just excited to be here. I'm going to just have to say write everything out by hand because rhyming is hard and I don't like it. So.
Oh, see, I
Not
imagined
a
that
fan
it
of
was.
rhymes.
I see what you're saying. I imagined that it was just a thing that whatever you wanted to say would come out as a rhyme, like magic. But I see what you're saying. If you have to like write,
if I have to like think of it, no,
that would be hard.
All right. Sean, tell us who you are, and would you rather be forced to dance all day, every day, until you get a perfect score on Dancing with the Stars, or be forced to eat mashed potatoes until you get a perfect score on Beat the Chefs?
Okay, I'm Sean. First things first, I want to apologize for my heavy breathing earlier, but James's jokes are real bad tonight.
I'm not doing phrasing anymore.
You know, I've got to do something. Honestly, oh gosh, I'm a better cook, so definitely the mashed potatoes.
You said eat mashed potatoes, though. What is Beat the Chef? What is that?
Look it up later.
I honestly don't know. That's the best part. I don't know.
I assume I have to impress some chefs with my mashed potatoes, and if I don't, I have to eat the mashed potatoes that I have prepared.
I assumed you had to beat up the chefs.
The most obvious solution.
Beat the chefs in an eating contest, but
yeah.
What do I know? I make a
that
show
like
on the internet.
Easier. I'm just saying. We're professional cooks, not professional eaters.
All right. Last, Katie, tell us who you are, and this seems like a rather simple one. Would you rather take care of the Beast from Beauty and the Beast for the rest of your life, or have Gaston as your boyfriend?
Hi, I'm Katie Bolaños, and I have been choosing the bear since the 90s. So we're gonna go beast.
All right.
Absolutely.
Well, welcome back. We are in now episode 2 of what we're playing, The Quiet Year, a game by Avery Alder. If you haven't watched our first episode, what are you doing? Go back and watch that. But not right now. Not right now. We're live. If you're watching this later on YouTube, I would suggest going back and watching the first episode first, because sequential order is usually the best way of doing things like that. So, The Quiet Year is a map-making game where each player contributes to the creation of this map, this small community that we're building, 1 week at a time, by answering a question on a card and choosing an action they want to take. Again, much more in-depth explanation on our first episode, so seriously, go back and watch that. But you should be able to pick it up as we play here, so why don't we go ahead and start that? Last time, we were creating a underground community that was put there as the land around this community was beset by vicious, violent thunderstorms on a pretty consistent basis. They did have some neighbors, a group of beast folk that had set up shop in the mountains around the area where our community was developing, that were able to ward off the lightning by way of constructing some large lightning rods and other means and methods. Few interesting things that have gone on. We've determined that there's all sorts of fun animal life, flora and fauna underneath the ground. Some large tunneling worms, some bioluminescent frogs, all sorts of problems that our community has had to put up with so far, but we've only yet begun. We're about halfway through the season of summer. Then we're going to get into autumn and winter. And after tonight's done, we'll be back and playing a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign in this setting. So let's get started. The last player to go in our last session was, I believe, Sean. I have it written down. Yes. So we're going to start tonight. We're going the same order that we were doing last time. So let us start with Sam. Sam,
Sure.
your card is the Queen of Hearts. So, a project finishes early. Which one? Why? There are no currently projects. There's no projects currently going on. So, the card thought of that. If there are no projects underway, boredom leads to a quarrel. A fight breaks out between two people. What is it about?
Do we not have any projects going right now?
We sure don't. They all wrapped up.
Efficient.
Well then,
Wild.
great. That's okay. Cool. So people are getting bored because there's no projects to do. People are indeed getting bored, and a fight breaks out over. So last time we sent out a search party looking for the son of the government leader Samson, and some of the people on the search party break out into a fight over what should be done with his amulet. Some of them think it should be returned to his family, but some of them think that maybe it could be, I don't know, maybe it needs to be like held on to by somebody that's not related to him, just in case because not everybody knows exactly what it does.
So, if you had to say the community split on this issue, or did it split, or are there more people in favor of one of those positions or the other?
I feel like most people are probably fairly detached from the government leader's family, so they're probably like, give it to his family.
All right. So, do you want to discover something new, start a project, or hold a discussion?
I'm gonna discover something new.
Right. What are you discovering?
So last session, we had the Loxodon representative come in from the Beast Folk community to make sure that the deal that was made with Felicia and her little crew was legit. And he was backed up by a lizard folk and a tabaxi representative who were also received by the town. And they came over to collect these crystals or collect. Anyway, it is discovered at some point before bedding down that the lizard folk and tabaxi representative are in possession of some of these crystals and are like meditating over them. It's not super sure what no one really knows what they're doing. But like, is it meditating? Is it praying over them? Is it studying them? But they're spending some time with these crystals that they're after.
Perfect.
I'm sorry, that was a project. I'm just.
That was-
That was a
Something new.
discovery.
Discovery.
That was a discovery.
Okay. Moving right along then. Michael,
Yes.
the ace.
Sorry, I have a question real quick before we move on. May I?
Yes?
So I thought at the end of last session that we started projects for determining if the glowworms can be used as a light source, as well as a project to remove the cursed machinery and clean
You know
up the
what?
water.
Katie,
And I
you
didn't think we
are
resolved that.
100% correct, and I am sorry. And my mistake. That
Okay.
didn't show up in the notes I was looking at, so my bad. So I will move those timers down one. Sam, if you want to resolve one of those projects, go ahead. We'll play both parts of that card.
Oh, that's perfectly okay. I'll leave it for whoever started the project. It's all good.
Well, I mean, you get to choose which project resolves early, but they're going to tell me about how it resolves.
We had the project of glowworm light source ? And then removing the cursed machinery.
Correct.
Let's just say, for funsies, let's just say glowworm light source ? Resolved early.
Okay. Can you tell me why it resolves early? Not what the result is, but just why. What led to it resolving early?
So the glowworms were found in the stalactites. I will assume that they were investigating stalactites near the underground lake with the mist coming off over it. And people started to get weirded out by it because that one kid got sick. And maybe it's all in their head, but they feel like they're getting sick too by studying there for too long.
Okay. And so now that the glowworm project has resolved, that was you had the two, Katie, that you started. So you tell me what happens with the glowworm project. What's the result of it?
Yeah, so they did their research on whether we could use the glowworms as a sustainable light source. With this one, it seems like if you put them in a mesh sack that they can breathe in, they can be used for a short period of time, especially if you feed them. So that was part of the research, was figuring out what they eat. Turns out that they have tiny little scrapey teeth that they use to scrape away at the lichens on the rock. But it also does create like little divots in the rock. And so you have to figure out how to like harvest the lichen safely and feed it to them. So it is a possible light source, but now we got to figure out how we can grow these lichens to have the glowworms continue to live and not have to change them out all the time.
All right. Now that we've corrected the error of my ways, let's move back on over to Michael. A contingent within the community demand to be heard. Who are they? What are they asking for? Or a contingent within the community have acted on their frustrations. What have they damaged? And why did they damage it? Is it permanent?
I asked for some chaos last time when we did our wishes, so we're gonna go with that latter one. And it's the laborers guild, the people that do the mining and the forging and the machinery and all of that sort of harvesting. They have been frustrated with this deal that was made with the mountain people without consulting with them, since they're the ones having to do the lion's share of the labor to provide those resources. So they sabotaged all of the paths that lead out of the underground passage to get to the mountain people.
All right. Are there any sort of immediate ramifications about that?
Communication's been cut off.
Okay. All right. So, do you want to discover something new, start a project, or hold a discussion? And I'm going to set down our project timer by 1.
I'm going to discover something new.
Okay.
So, in the process of them setting this work to disable these routes to cut off travel, they needed to do it in a way that wasn't permanent, but that was still significant enough. So they caused some minor cave collapses, and when they did that, they actually found a new material, a new mineral, one that they had never found before because they hadn't done any mining closer to the surface.
Okay. What kind of mineral are we talking about?
Something that has kinetic properties.
Okay. Now,
combustible.
would we add that to our resources list? Is it found in abundance, or is it still something fairly rare?
I think it potentially is found in abundance. They just have to set up mining operations further away from the center part of the city.
Okay, so we won't say it's in abundance yet. We'll say if somebody wants to start a project to that effect,
Yeah,
then we can say it's
that's
in
what I would.
abundance.
That's what I would think. It would take time to build that.
Great. All right, that means we're back to the technical top of the order. Meg got the 5. A project finishes early. What led to its early completion? Or the weather is nice and people can feel the potential all around them. In this instance, by the weather, we'll say that there haven't been a lot of underground tremors recently, and everyone's feeling pretty okay. So you can start a new project. So project finishes early or start a new project.
We're gonna start a new project because we gotta go clean up all those collapsed routes. So, gotta go start moving some rubble and reestablish communication with the Beast Folk community because we've got diplomats essentially from over there visiting at the moment, and I'm sure they want to be able to hear from their families.
Okay. Tell me, how do who's undertaking this project?
It would be whatever governing body has been set up. Did we talk about that last time, like a council?
Yeah, but I'm more specifically curious about what workers are engaged in the project. Since it was the laborers that were the ones that did the sabotage in the first place.
That's a great point. Well, the government obviously offered them a bonus and an extra holiday to go back to work. So, 85% of them did.
Sounds like they need a better union president. Negotiate for them better results.
We're gonna work on that.
Okay. How long is that project gonna take?
Well, they're a little short-handed because not everybody decided to come back. So I'm gonna say 5 weeks.
Right. Now, would you like to discover something new, start a new project, or hold a discussion? And we turn our other project die down 1.
Well, I am going to... I'm going to start another project because there were 2 things I was deciding between, and since I get to do 2, I'm just going to do them both. So now the rest of the work, the holdouts from the laborers, as well as some of the other people, we won't say that it's only 15%. They probably needed to split it a little bit differently, but some of the workers who already had agreed to come back and start working again, cleaning up their mess, and as well as the holdouts actually are excited by this new mineral thing, and basically they've been offered a share of the profits. It's not going to be very big, obviously, because the government is offering it to them, but they have an ownership of part of whatever the profit ends up being from this mineral. So we're going to send a band out to the outskirts or farther away where starting to mine closer to the surface is not going to be as dangerous for civilians, although it will still be dangerous for the workers themselves, because the closer you are to the surface, the more likely you're going to get cave-ins. So.
All right. How long is that project going to take?
I guess we don't really know because they have to be able to find it, but I'm going to say 3 weeks.
Okay. Just making my notes. All right. Katie. Jack. Predators and bad omens are afoot. You are careless, and someone goes missing under ominous circumstances. Who? Or, predators and bad omens are afoot. What measures do you take to keep everyone safe and under surveillance? Do not reduce project dice this week.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. So with the cave-in, with the cave-ins of the tunnels, and the resulting tremors in the pathways that have now been cut off that they're used to having, we have been detecting the worms coming closer and closer to the civilization. And so we're used to people who go out and explore these caves, looking for paths, looking for mining things. Sometimes they go missing, and that's just kind of an accepted. It doesn't happen very often, so it's an accepted loss of sharing space with you. But now, a child has gone missing. 12-year-old who, was just out exploring, wasn't too far from home because he knows better than to go out. They found his shoe left and clear signs of worms having gotten that close to the community.
Who was this child's parents?
This child was the son of two actually, what is more interesting? This was a child of, I like both. I don't know which I like better. Of one of the council members.
Hey.
Oh, so another council member's kid has gone missing.
But we know that he was eaten by a worm.
Whoa.
And it's probably the working class people.
Wait, did we ever see a body though?
We found a shoe and signs of worm. So
we're gonna make it, but we're gonna play by comic book rules.
we're gonna make it what?
We're gonna play by comic.
John's breathing again.
I'm sorry. There. It's away. It's away.
We're gonna play by comic book rules. We never saw a body, so
Okay.
Who knows? All right. All of our project timers will go down one since you callously sacrificed a young child. And do you want to discover something new, start a new project, or hold a discussion?
So many possibilities now. I am going to start a project. Our old friend Felicia hears about what the beast folk have been seen doing, so she starts a project to once again spy on the beast folk. She thinks she'll have better luck this time because now we're in her home turf. She's going to try and figure out what it is they're doing with those crystals.
All right. How many weeks?
Give it 2 weeks.
All right. That should make it Sean's turn. Sean, it's the 7.
Okay.
Introduce a mystery at the edge of the map, or an unattended situation becomes problematic and scary. What is it? How does it go awry?
Say those again, just so I can think about them.
Introduce a mystery at the edge of the map, or an unattended situation becomes problematic and scary. What is it? How does it go awry?
Okay. We are going to do a mystery. So during a heavy storm on the surface, a massive windstorm, through the clouds, there is a light, and suddenly to the southwest corner of the map, something lands in that area.
Down here.
Yeah, something hits the ground and a massive chasm opens up. It doesn't look like a typical strike from an asteroid or anything like that. It becomes this gigantic. It's almost as if something has cut into the earth with a jagged blade, and it goes further to the southwest past the where we are aware of, or where we have searched so far.
Is this chasm deep enough that you can't see down to the bottom of it?
No one has gotten close enough to check yet.
Is it because they're just not willing to or unable to get close, or because something's preventing them from getting close?
They're unwilling at this point. That is all they know.
Okay. Let's move our project timers down 1. And then tell me what you would like to do in terms of starting a project, discovering something new, or holding a discussion.
Gosh. My brain is just not being smart today. I am gonna start a project. That's gonna be a little weird. So I feel like the what is his name? I can't remember. Samson's dad. What is his name? It's not coming.
You gave him.
Okay, that's
His name down.
we don't need to give him a name.
What is his name, Sean?
Oh Jesus. Handsome Dan. So
That's
Handsome
why he
Dan.
got elected to the council.
Handsome Dan. That's how he got elected to the council. Is because he's so damn handsome.
Charismatic.
Charismatic. So Handsome Dan is getting frustrated because he feels like people are forgetting that his son's body has never been found, so there's the possibility that his son could still be alive. So Handsome Dan gets some of his friends together, and they are going to go out to where Samson's belongings were found, and they are going to try and track him and find out where he went. And because the tunnels are so busted up, part of that is going to be trying to find a new way out of the tunnels, or out of the underground.
Okay, so that's a project. How many weeks?
I think if they're trying to find a way out as well, at least 5. So I'm going to say 5.
All right, and the most important question was Handsome Dan hoping that his son would be Handsome Samson. Inquiring minds want to know, Sean.
I would say yes.
Okay.
It's a
all right,
it's a family name.
great.
So is it a title of council members?
No, it's a family name. Handsome. It's like Korean. The last name goes first. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. This is the end of spring here with our last card.
Summer?
Sam, it is 8.
Oh.
Or excuse me, end of
Is it the
summer.
end of summer?
End of summer. I know seasons. I know how they work. Time, it flows. The 8. Someone tries to take control of the community by force. Do they succeed? Why do they do this? Or a headstrong community member decides to put one of their ideas in motion. Start a foolish project.
I feel like I just
Ooh.
did that.
I was gonna say, I feel like that's John's card. Okay, cool. Read that last one for me one more time, if you don't mind, James.
A headstrong community member decides to put one of their ideas in motion. Start a foolish project.
All right, cool. So, the owner of the Camel Cricket restaurant, yeah, they're like, okay, look, you know what this town needs is some unity, and what unites us all more than camel crickets and everything that we do with them. So, foolish project. We are going to create we are going to try to find a way to keep camel crickets and other food items cool underground so that we can make camel cricket milkshake. Because we got to revive the community. We got to revive their interest in staying here and being part of this community. And so we're going to make a new thing for them all to look forward to. So, foolish project, find a way to keep food underground cool.
Like frozen cool.
Exactly, yeah. Literally frozen cool, yeah.
Want to discover refrigeration.
Well,
Yeah.
do we already have root cellars?
We want
that
it to
was
be
just
cooler.
It's
I
not
thought
cold
that was
enough.
just
That's
food.
not cold enough.
I
We're-
thought that
we're
was just like
discovering
food
freezers.
storage. Right. I thought that was storage to keep it away from the worms as opposed to like cool storage. That's the
Fair. We've got cask cricket ale. We want cold keg cricket ale. I get it. It's very important.
something to keep it cool and also to like preserve them longer, maybe. But yeah, we wanna keep our camel cricket supply and inventory cooler.
All right, so explain to me why then that is foolish. What is foolish about that project?
Oh God.
Oh, where do I begin? That's a great question, James. I mean, it's foolish because I feel like, there's these reports of other towns going missing, and there's this militia being formed, and there's these striking laborers, and there's 2 kids missing. There's a potentially cursed lake with a potentially cursed mining digger in it. And, who has the time to think about camel cricket delicacies whenever the community is falling apart?
So our resources could be better devoted elsewhere.
100%.
Got it.
100%.
I can
All
support
right. So how many weeks is it going to take to cool down our camel crickets?
We're going to go 4. We're going to go 4.
weeks.
It's going to take some digging, and it's going to take some trial and error and potentially some food poisoning if it doesn't go well. It's fine. As it
It
does.
will not.
Okay, so we've
it
got
will
some
not.
projects that are wrapping up here. So the first one is going to be the, I believe it's going to be the machinery in the lake.
Mm.
So, Katie, what happened?
Yeah. So they managed to pull out the cursed digger, but not all of it. When they pull it out of the lake, they see that about half of it has just completely dissolved into the water. So that made it a little easier to pull out than expected. So now we
I said nothing.
So now,
I'm behind
so they've been working on also like trying to clean up the water, but realizing like it's seems like it's dissolved into the water itself. So we've turned our attention to trying to creating a way to distill the water, so that it'll hopefully be cleaner. So the water that's still in the lake, can't drink it, but if you run it through this distiller, you can eventually drink it, but that takes time. And I would say that this has now made our water source scarce.
Okay. And then the other project that wraps up. Hold on. This would be easier if I was writing it and didn't have to scroll, but that's the joy of typing. The Beast Folk, I believe. Yes. So tell me, what did Felicia find out?
Oh gosh, okay. I did that timing poorly. Sorry, let me just. Yeah. So Felicia discovers that as the Beast Folk are meditating and praying over this crystal, it's twofold. One is that the Beast Folk believe that the crystals originate from a god that they worship, and it is a gift from her, and that the crystals are actually able to store energy. And that energy can then be used and released in other forms.
Okay, crystal energy. We're getting a pretty new agey. We'll deal with that later. All right, Sam.
Smell the patchouli already.
Yeah.
Looks good, man. Sounds good.
Do you want to start a new project, discover something new, or hold a discussion?
Sure. So going along with the discovery of, oh God, the part of the digger has been dissolved and is now in the water, I'll start a project to have a priest come and basically bless the lake, because they think it'll make it go quicker if they try to turn it into holy water.
That's amazing.
Sure.
So, okay, what kind of deity is the priest in service to?
We'll go with the low-hanging fruit, and we'll say it's the Storm Lord, whose temple was above ground.
Okay. What's the name of this storm god?
That's a great question. I don't know that we've talked about that.
We haven't. Are you so glad that I asked?
I'm so just enamored with the fact that you asked. I love that. I'm trying to avoid names that already exist. Let's see. God. Okay. This is wildly unhelpful.
Tell you what, we can think about it.
Oh, no,
and
yes.
come back to it.
Yeah, let's think about it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. How many
thanks.
weeks does this priest need to have to cleanse the water?
We'll say 3. It's gonna
3
take a
weeks.
minute. This is a lot of water.
That's a lot of prayer.
That's a whole lot of praying.
All right. So that takes us to the end of summer, not spring, because again, I know how seasons work. And I'm going to exercise some game master prerogative here, and I'm going to hold a discussion.
Oh boy.
Ooh. It's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for
See
him.
if it pays off. So I have a question, and I'm not gonna provide an answer to it. So I'm gonna make you all answer it. But my question is, what's the name of our community? Sean, go.
Well, obviously it should be named after our leader, so Handsometon.
Okay. Sam, go.
Again with the naming, I'm so glad. You know what? Can I just agree with what Sean says? Is
You
that a discussion
absolutely
thing that can
can.
happen?
You can.
Yeah, you know
if that's
what? Why
you want.
not? You know, the
Please
man's
no.
been through enough.
Please,
The
no.
man's been through enough. The man has lost his son. He's given a great deal to this community.
He's not
We're
even
gonna go
here
Handsome
right
Ten.
now. He's
Sean?
not
We're
even
gonna go
here.
You don't have the talking stick.
I'm
Sean.
sorry. I'm sorry.
We're gonna go Handsome Ten. This man has done a lot for this community, and he has sacrificed a great deal. So we're gonna go.
Okay.
Yeah, why not Handsome Ten?
Katie,
Subterra.
Michael,
Umbral Forge.
Meg,
Hmm. I like sticking with like Terra because their whole Earth thing. So I like either Katie's suggestion or something like Terraglin or something like
Terra Glen.
Okay.
that. But it can be like one word.
I will think on that. Personally, I would have said Undertopia, but that's just me. And it would have been bad, so that's why I asked you all. All right.
The Underglen.
I like it
The-
better than
the-
Handsomton.
Well,
Yeah.
Sean, you should have thought about that.
Underhaven.
All right.
Underglen
That's not bad.
sounds too close to undergland.
Oh.
What is
Oh.
that? Like,
Oh.
Worth,
who said
worth noting.
Underland?
Worth noting that Subterra is also a video game.
This is true.
Also, Underhaven is better. Anyway.
Terranigma is also a video game, and it's not important
I'm
because
just
no one
saying.
said that.
Umbral
Um,
Forge.
Let's move on to Autumn.
I feel like Underhaven. That's cool.
Thank you.
Ooh.
Well, should have said it when it was your turn.
I said it.
Meg said
know.
it. I was agreeing with her, James.
Oh, to be fair, Meg, you said like four
To be
things, so I'm sorry.
fair- Yeah, because I'm indecisive. You know this.
Don't be precious. Don't be precious.
I'm
Go
not
with
precious.
the first.
I'm just brainstorming. That's all.
Okay. Well,
Thank
but
you,
no, the whole
Precious.
point is the first thing that comes in, that's it.
Anyway,
Okay,
anyway.
I
We'll
get
move
you.
on.
I get you.
We'll move on. We'll move
I
on.
get
That
you,
doesn't
I get you.
happen in my head.
Let it go.
All right, Michael, you are the first to go in Autumn. So
My
let's
favorite
see
season.
what we've got here. We pulled the 5 of clubs. The parish arrives. Who are they? Why have they chosen your community and for what? Or a small gang of marauders is making its way through local terrain. How many are there? What weapons do they carry?
Elaborate on parish.
You elaborate on the parish.
It's can just generic any umbrella fucking parish.
The card says the parish. That's all
Is
you have
it
to go on.
capitalized?
Yes.
Perfect. That I'm gonna go with that one.
All right.
And they are an ancient sect of cave-dwelling beast folk that only come out on the cusp of a coming eclipse.
All right. So why have they come specifically to this community?
Because the signs that they consult told them to.
Okay. All right, let's turn our projects down one. And what do you want to do this week?
I would like to start a project.
Okay.
I want to try and domesticate some giant worms.
Great. Tell me how many weeks that's going to take.
6.
Okay. Meg. The three of clubs. Someone leaves the community after issuing a dire warning. Who? What is the warning? Or someone issues a dire warning and the community leaps into action to avoid disaster. What is the warning? Start a
That never happens.
Start a contentious project that relates to it.
Contentious.
Contentious project. Ooh.
Wait, are you giving me another card that makes you do 2 actions?
No, it's you choose one. Someone leaves the community after issuing a dire warning. Who? Or someone issues a dire warning and the community leaps into action. What is the warning?
The
You start a
action is the
contentious
project.
project that relates to it.
Well, I'm gonna say that one of the members of the parish, shortly after arriving, decides that it is entirely too dangerous with the worms and whatnot, that we should all figure out somewhere else to live before we're all eaten, and then leaves. But the community is like, psh, you're new here. We don't believe
Okay.
We don't play.
you. We've lived with these worms forever. Have you? But they kind of have, because they also live in the caves. But, you know, people are stupid.
They live in the caves up in the mountain.
They live in the caves in the mountains. Maybe they were driven out by the worms up there.
Getting more active.
Mm-hmm. So the worms are getting more active. It's a bad sign of things to come. Something bigger is coming. The worms are migrating because something bigger is headed their way, and they want to be out of there.
All right. So, Meg, your laborers have gone back to work. So tell me the result of that.
Which one?
The laborers that were offered a bonus and extra holiday to go back to work are back to work clearing the paths and doing what they were supposed to do. So tell me what the result of clearing up those paths was.
Well, communication is reestablished, and the pathways are able to be used again.
Okay.
Though some people maintain that it's a waste of resources because they don't really have any interest in being in communication with the beast folk.
Fair enough. And what do you want to do this week?
I want to hold a special youth forum where the children can express the things that they want to see happen in their community. What do you youth want to see happen or think should happen? Ready?
So is this a discussion?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That's
So
what
you're
a forum is.
yes, I didn't know if that was like a project you were starting.
No. No, I
Okay.
just want to hold the one. Just the one event.
All
I
right.
just want to specify that it's only for youth in the community, not the adults.
Okay. Michael, go.
I would like to see more adventures to the surface because I'm old enough.
Katie, go.
I just really miss the sun. It would be really great to see the sun again and work on my tan. I'm getting really pale.
Sam, go.
I just want my brother to come home.
Oh, wow.
Which
Sean.
brother? Which
Sam's
brother?
Sister.
Handsome
Right?
Alice.
Exactly.
Hampton Tina.
Sorry, did you say my name?
Yes, Sean.
Oh, okay. I want the Camel Cricket milkshakes right now.
Of course you do. All right, Meg, last word.
I think that it would be cool if we had a library.
Cool. All right.
And also cotton candy for lunch every day.
Let's go. Katie. the 7 of clubs. A project just isn't working out as expected. Radically change the nature of this project. Don't modify the project die. When it resolves, you'll be responsible for telling the community how it went. Or something goes foul and supplies are ruined. Add a new scarcity.
Oh, snap.
Things are
Can you
getting
say
troubling.
Can you say the first one again?
Yes. A project just isn't working out as expected. Radically change the nature of this project. We don't change the number on the die, when it resolves, you'll be responsible for telling the community how it went.
You look at
Your current projects are domesticating giant worms, having a priest bless the water, creating camel cricket milkshakes, and setting up a new mineral mine.
Oh, whose project do I want to fuck up?
Be my guest.
Wait, which one was yours?
I have the camel
Yeah.
cricket shakes, and I have the bless the
Oh.
water.
Oh, that's good too. I was also thinking about messing with Michael's worms. Okay, so the priest of the storm god is trying to bless the water, but there are a lot of people who live in this community who are very, they've lost faith with the storm god because we pray to him all the time. We used to pray to him all the time, and the storms are still wrecking our shit. So several unruly community members are gathered around this priest as he's trying to bless the water, and they get like worked up into an unruly mob and start they're like constantly like throwing stuff at him and cheering him. He tries to
Rude.
All right. So people are now mad at the priest.
Shocker.
What else is there?
1 second.
I like finessing.
All right, so our timers are going to go down on some of these. So I believe there's too many projects going on. You guys have now... I missed a project too. I forgot. I left off Sean's project to find a new path and locate Samson. So that's another one going on.
Ooh.
Thanks for protecting Handsome Dan.
You know, it's important.
Long live.
Long live Handsome.
All right, so the mineral mine is done. Oh wait, no, it's not. Sorry, there's another one. Why are there so many projects, you guys? Don't do
That's fucking weird, right?
He likes
It's
to
crazy.
do stuff.
It's almost like there's a bunch of us.
It's
Oh.
as if we want to build a community.
Crazy.
I don't know what you're talking about. The camel cricket milkshakes are done.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah, they are.
the storm god.
Tell me how that turned out.
So-
Delicious.
How is refrigeration working for us?
So here's the thing. In our efforts to refrigerate, we're like, what do we do? What do we do? Somebody was like, hey, those crystals that flare during the storm? Let's see if any of them change temperature. So it is discovered through this project that the blue crystals kind of get cold as the wind starts to blow. So they box up or like surround these food stores with these blue crystals, and they're able to keep them colder than room temperature, which is probably definitely cold enough to not get food poisoning with camel cricket milkshakes.
All right.
Great.
And now that you've radically changed the project, KD, and people are mad at the priest, what happened with that project?
Oh, that's right.
I don't know, it was resolving so soon. Yeah, so the priest is just like trying to do his job, but eventually like one of those rocks like seriously like connects with him, he gets spooked that he's going to get seriously injured. He's mad that the council's not doing more to stop these protests, and he leaves before the job is done.
Hey. Does that have any sort of effect on Storm God devotion in the community at large?
I mean, I feel like most of the community are kind of ambivalent towards the storm god at this point. There's like a small sect of people who do still like venture to the surface to pay homage at this abandoned temple. But it's abandoned, right? There's not a whole lot of them who still hold to that faith.
Okay.
So I think, yeah, people are just still like, if anything, maybe their distaste for the storm god continues to
All right.
spread.
And now you get to keep talking. What do you want to do this week?
I forgot it's my turn. I would like to start a discussion.
Great.
And now that we know, we're learning more about these crystals, that the blue crystals turn cold when the wind starts to blow, but that they also seem to be able to store and release energy. We want to know what should we do about the crystals and the beast folk who have been holding this information back.
Meg, go.
Obviously, we need to demand that they share any knowledge that they have and show us how to use them.
Michael, go.
I would not prescribe any malevolence to it. After all, we've been living with these crystals for a long time, and we never figured out that they could do anything. I do think a goodwill sort of situation, fact-finding expedition maybe, would be in order.
Sam, go.
I think we should hoard them all for ourselves. They're ours. If they wanted access to crystals, maybe they should have just lived down here.
Nice. Sean, go.
These crystals seem like a lot of trouble. Perhaps we should just allow them to mine them and bring them back up to their territory before something horrible happens.
And Katie, you have the last word.
Well, it's probably in our best interest to continue diplomacy with these beast folk, seeing as they are our close neighbors. Perhaps a fact-finding mission would be to our best benefit.
Sean,
Yes.
the Queen of Clubs. Disease spreads through the community. Choose one. You spend the week quarantining and treating the disease. Project dice are not reduced this week. Or, nobody knows what to do about it. Add health and fertility as a scarcity.
I know I said it'd be quicker about decisions, but goodness gracious. Oh,
It's real in autumn, folks.
Yeah. That's not easy. You know what? I think it makes sense. We chased the priest off. He wasn't able to bless the community. Health and fertility are a scarcity. And, yeah, that sucks.
What kind of disease is it?
Oh, gosh. So, health and fertility. God bless. You are making this hard.
Didn't somebody say something about people feeling sick? Like working
From
with
the
glowworms
mist.
or something? Oh, from the mist.
Yeah, from the mist. Yeah, I think it's a type of respiratory disease. I'm so sorry if anybody's getting triggered out there right now. I think it's a respiratory disease that not only affects the respiratory system, but I think that it is. Well, no, it doesn't really have to affect that. I think that just the fertility thing just happens. No, I think that there is a good chance that if you can get this disease, it's a little bit like feels just like a kind of normal cold, but it lasts a really long time. But I think about half of the people that get this disease will become infertile in some way.
Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mist lung.
I like that. They call it mist lung.
Mist lung. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What do you want to do this week?
Let's discover something new. Since you're complaining about projects,
We're down to 3 projects, so we can.
I know, I'm joking. Let's discover something new. I think somebody gets a little more interested. So people are getting a little more interested in the crystals. Since we now have the blue is cool, or it cools things down when storms happen. And I think someone accidentally is walking through the cave system, and there's a storm going on up top, and they see one of these red crystals, and it begins to glow, so they pick it up, and it's hot to the touch, and they throw it, and
Into the combustible mineral?
yes.
Why?
They throw it into some incombustible minerals, accidentally. Not necessarily the mine. I don't think they're near the mine. I think they just throw it into some combustible materials, and both of them blow up and cause another cave-in. But we now know that the red crystals are hot and quite possibly explode upon impact.
We have dynamite. Okay.
That's what I was hoping would happen eventually. With
Yes,
that.
and
Oh boy. All right. So that brings us back to Sam.
Hi.
10 of clubs. We're gonna do a couple more of these, and then we're gonna take our intermission, our little bathroom break. Right. Harvest is here and plentiful. Add an abundance. Or cold autumn winds drive out your enemies. Remove a threatening force from the map and the area.
Ooh. Oh gosh. Okay. So the harvest is plentiful, add a new abundance, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ooh, okay. Well, now that we have refrigeration, we can keep stuff good for longer. Yeah, we're gonna say that camel crickets are keeping longer, and with their new food source as well, they are more fertile. There's also less predation, with half the people in the community getting sick and not being out to hunt them. So sure, we're going to say camel crickets are reproducing, and they're extremely fertile, and there's just a whole bunch of them come fall, and we're able to keep them fresher longer.
Phrase I never thought I'd want to utter: fertile camel crickets. All right.
In abundance. Fertile camel crickets as far as the eye can see.
We got some horny crickets out here, y'all.
Chirp,
crickets.
chirp.
Praise be to the storm god.
When the cold autumn
gonna have
winds,
nothing
the
to do with
crickets.
this.
The
As
crickets.
soon as we
get
said
to eat.
harvest, I could see Michael's eyebrow just go,
Yeah,
no, yeah, I'm going to do it.
I was waiting for it.
All right, Meg, tell me about this mineral mine that you've set up. That's completed.
Well, they've managed to get quite a little. They've managed to find a good vein that is a safe distance away. So we are now able to set up a regular sort of mining situation for this mineral.
Okay.
And we have enough sample-wise to work with to figure out how we can use it.
All right. Sam, what do you want to do this week?
Oh, gosh. I'm going to discover something new.
Okay.
So, this priest got shunted away and was attacked, and, everybody's, defaming the name of the storm god. And it is discovered that in the middle of the night after the priest is like, screw you guys, I'm going home, that the geyser, while most everyone is asleep, the geyser starts rumbling and goes off in the middle of the night, which normally only happens whenever a storm is coming.
Okay.
Are the crystals also lighting up?
No.
Curious.
Mm.
Michael, the two of clubs. Someone returns to the community. Who? Where were they? Or you find a body. Do people recognize who it is?
Perfect.
What happened?
Do it, Michael. Do it, Michael.
I just want my brother to come home.
By Samson. By Hamson.
No.
Samson.
The kid that everyone thought got eaten.
Samson's back.
Yes!
Ah.
Handsome Samson!
Handsome Samson is
That's
back.
so hard to say.
All right.
Where
So,
was he?
where was he?
He doesn't remember.
No.
In fact, he doesn't remember anything,
Like even leaving?
even leaving. Nor does he remember the town or who he is.
Oh. Total amnesia.
Yes.
Okay.
I love it.
What's the community's reaction to his return? Where actually, better question. How did he end up coming back?
There was one of the crews that is in charge of transporting the debris from the project where they're clearing out the roads, the pathways, as they were headed up to start work for the day. They just found him wandering aimlessly in the road, and they brought him back.
Sean, I think that probably fairly wraps up your project.
Yeah.
So,
Well, he's out. Handsome
Okay.
Dan isn't here.
well, we can. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. It's
Mhm.
the project ended anyway. So tell me,
Oh, it did.
what was the result of Handsome Dan's investigation?
Well, here's the thing. Handsome Dan returns a few days after Samson returns. With another Samson. And he
Oh, boy.
remembers everything.
Almost like exactly what I wanted to happen.
I know it's exactly what you wanted to happen.
I don't. Okay.
This is your fault.
This is not a turn I anticipated. Okay, Michael, what do you want to do this week?
I want to make a discovery.
Okay.
It's discovered that one of the rarer crystals, the purple crystals, are a place that the worms seem calmer. They tend to make nests around them, and they exhibit more signs of being docile the closer they are to these purple crystals.
Okay. And I think that is where we will take our break. So, we'll be back in 10 minutes for more madness. And we'll see you all then. Enjoy. As is our custom around these parts, we hope you had a lovely bathroom break. And we're back. We're in the midst of autumn. We're gonna try and do a little bit of lightning around here so we can get through this as much as we can. So Meg, the 9 of clubs. The community works constantly, and as a result, a project finishes early. The only project you currently have going is domesticating the giant worms.
Oh, great.
Or a group goes out to explore the map more thoroughly and find something that had been previously overlooked.
Sorry.
Nothing better than the sound of my own voice.
Speak for yourself.
I'm sorry. Say again?
The community works constantly, and as a result, a project finishes early, or a group goes out to explore the map more thoroughly and find something that had been previously overlooked.
Well, the project is about the worms, right?
Correct.
So the project ended early because of the discovery about the purple gems. We constructed like a barrier far enough away to make us feel comfortable so that it would attract like specific areas to attract the worms to, that they would stay there before coming any further into the community. So then we didn't need to domesticate them anymore. The gems do it for us.
Okay. Purple gems. Soothe the savage slithering beast. Or purple crystals.
Yeah.
You got a really cool origin for purple worms there.
All right. So that resolves the only project on the board. What do you want to do?
That was going to be my project. So.
Well, no, you resolved the project. So.
I know, but that
okay.
like the actual like building of the things was going to be my project. But
Got it.
we took care of that already. So
Love it.
now I'm going to start a project working with the red crystals in particular to figure out how to use them as safe heating sources. Try to discover some way of containing them or making them less likely to blow up so that we can use them for warmth.
How many weeks?
Ooh, I feel like you got to figure out how to control the crystal, and you got to figure out how to make it not blow up. So I think that's going to be a full 6, unfortunately.
Okay.
But they are hoping to push some things out this winter.
Katie, the Ace of Clubs. The community becomes obsessed with a single project. Which one? Why? Choose one. They decide to take more time to ensure that it is perfect, add 3 weeks to the project die, or they drop everything else to work on it. All other projects fail.
Okay, well, seeing as there's only one project, and I kind of want to do this anyway, so we are like obsessed with these crystals, and we actually wanted to reach out to the beast folk as well. So I think it makes sense to add an additional 3 weeks to expand our research on these crystals. Basically, yeah, we recruit the beast folk, like show us how these crystals are able to not only do these things that we're discovering, where the blue is cold and the purple has some kind of like sound thing going on for the worms, the red is hot, and they store energy too. Show us how to use that. So
That sucks.
Okay. Well, now that the project is up to 9 weeks, we'll move it down to 8. And what do you want to do this week?
okay, let's see. Oh, I know. I will also start a project where we're gonna go figure out what the fuck is going on with that chasm.
Okay. So it's just an exploration of the chasm.
Yes.
Yes.
And how long is that going to take?
Let's say 3 weeks.
All right. Add a timer. Bam. All right. And that is going to be Sean then, who has the 8 of clubs, and someone sabotages a project, and the project fails as a result. Who did this and why? Who did this? Or someone is caught trying to sabotage the efforts of the community. How does the community respond?
Oh.
That's literally what I was thinking.
I know.
Or
What,
someone
which
who's ready to
one?
seize peaceful.
Because it is going to be one of the Samsons. But it's weird because it's both of the Samsons.
Okay, so are they actually succeeding in sabotaging it, or they just try to and it stopped?
What are they?
They try to, and they're caught doing it.
What are they sabotaging?
They are trying to sabotage the Red Crystal project.
Which is now the multiple crystal project.
Yes,
Crystal Energy Project.
which is the Crystal Energy Project. So they are caught trying to sabotage the work camp. And one of them, neither of them has any idea. So that when they're caught, they are trying to sabotage this, but they're kind of in this weird comatose state. And when they're caught, they kind of take a minute. It takes them a minute to come back, and they don't know why either of them are there.
Okay, so how does the community react?
Well, obviously thrown in jail, and the community is asking for guidance from the council, obviously, and they want justice, and they also are wanting the Samsons to be kicked out of the community because they don't think that they can trust them anymore if they continue to have strange events happen like this around them.
All right, does Handsome Dan recuse himself from that conversation?
I think with a name like Handsome Dan, you do not recuse yourself from a conversation ever.
Got it.
So no, he does not.
It's not even conversations he isn't even a part of. Like he is.
Yes, he's trying to.
He's literally in every conversation.
Yep, he's making Truth Social posts, and
All right.
I'm sorry.
He's flying the Underhaven flag upside down.
Yes, he is. It was his wife. It was actually his wife. Yeah.
She had beef with the neighbors.
She did have beef with the neighbors.
And we just lost half our audience. Sean.
Bye.
Oh, did we really? Did we
No,
really?
well, not in the
okay.
slightest. What do you want to do this week?
I would like to. Oh gosh. I know you have to go fast. Blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna discover something new.
Okay.
So hold on. Someone, you know what? Felicia sneaks up to the surface as she is wont to do, and is just kind of looking around the ruins. And Felicia hears something from up in the mountains and looks up and sees what seems to be a gigantic bulbous object with what looks to be a ship hanging from the bottom of it, floating over the mountains.
Sean.
Yes, I created airships. You're welcome.
Okay.
And she's not exactly sure who's piloting it, but it goes back into the mountains and disappears.
I'm glad you're introducing airships into an underground setting.
Well, there is an above ground area, James.
And the
Yeah,
underground could be huge. doesn't have to be like.
I'm adding
you know,
depth, James.
Yes, this whole city, everybody's.
I'm
sloppy.
adding verticality, man. Get with the program.
Right, man.
Hollow
Alright.
Earth, brother. Hollow Earth.
Jeez.
Sam,
Yes.
6 of clubs.
Nice.
It is. Introduce a dark mystery among the members of the community, or conflict flares up among community members, and as a result, the project fails.
What are our current projects?
The crystal research and exploring the chasm in the southwest corner of the map.
Mm.
Oh.
That's Trixie.
Oh, God.
That is Trixie.
Okay, so tensions flare and cause the project to fail.
Or there's a dark mystery. It's up to you.
There's a dark mystery and... I'm sorry, there's... What was the first?
Your two choices
Dan, I'm so
are
sorry.
there is
Yes.
a dark mystery, or conflict flares up among the community members and a project fails.
Oh god, this is so hard.
This is difficult. There is a mystery. There is a mystery. The mystery is that once people take their little would-be sources of light, their little glowworms, down to investigate this chasm. But the mystery is that as soon as they're out of eyeshot of everybody above the surface, they are no longer able to be seen, and they can suddenly see in the dark in this chasm.
Cool.
So as soon as they're away from like would-be surface light, they suddenly get dark vision.
She heard dark mystery and she went literally.
And I'd do it again.
Did you say that the people that gain dark vision also end up being like they can't be seen? Is that what you said?
From the
From
Yeah,
surface.
basically like once from above, like if you're watching somebody climb down, like
Like
once
you go
they're
into
away
the
from
black.
your field of view.
Once
Yeah.
they're out of eye shot, they develop dark vision.
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Cool.
That's
All right,
exactly
what
what
do
it is.
What you want to do this week?
I want to start a project.
Okay.
I want to interrogate these Samsons while they're in jail to figure out what the hell is happening and who is who and who is a doppelganger or who is an illusion.
I'm on board with this. Tell me how long.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. So if you
have
interrogate
enough
someone,
evidence to hold them that long.
if you interrogate someone for more than a week, we're getting close to torture. But that's okay.
You know,
That's
I like
Yeah, it's
I like how one of them has no memories of any of these things, and the other one like knows everything, but they're both under suspicion.
That's right.
Does one of them have no memories?
You're welcome.
Do they really
Both
have
of
no
them-
memories?
Both of them were found attempting to sabotage the project. Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes, they were.
Exactly.
All right, so 3 weeks. Okie doke.
Mhm.
That moves us on to. If I could remember the order instead of having to look at it each time, that'd be super
Meg.
helpful. Michael, the Jack of Clubs, a project finishes early. Which one? Why?
Isn't Meg next? No, you're right. I'm an idiot. Thank you.
Wow, Sean.
I'm trying, guys.
Sean, if that makes you an idiot, God bless us all. Michael, project finishes early.
Why?
So far, you've got your
Fire
crystal examination.
order.
I will tell you the chasm exploration is set to finish this week anyway, and then you've got interrogating the Samsons.
The crystal project is going to finish early because when
6
the
weeks early.
when the envoy gets to the mountains and has this conversation, the beastkin are super transparent. We're flipping the script. We're going the opposite direction. They're like,
Nice.
oh yeah, totally. We thought you knew what these crystals could do. Like, yeah, absolutely, man. Here you go. And as a result, strengthen that alliance a little bit more. And now we have crystal power.
Lovely.
What do other ones
Well-
do?
Let's save that for another time.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't want to take all of that.
We can talk about that as we play our Dungeons and Dragons campaign.
Yeah.
True.
Okay. So Katie, the chasm exploration resolves. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so aided by being able to see in the dark when they go down there, the explorers quickly discover something very strange. This chasm. There is a large sword embedded in the ground. No one there recognizes its make, can figure out where it came from, and it's like as big as a person. Like it's huge. Almost looks like it's what cut this chasm into the ground and is still there. And there are like strange runes on it. And when they shine the glowworm over the sword, it appears to glow.
Okay. What did you say it was that was embedded in the ground?
A giant sword.
Sword. Okay.
Sword.
Okay. I heard spore, which would very much change.
No, giant sword.
Got it.
That looks like it cut the hole in the ground. How does a spore cut a hole, guys? Come on.
You want me to get into that? Because I will.
We're going Last of Us here, guys.
I was as confused.
I'm so sorry, but that's what I heard too.
Maybe the mycelium can cut a hole. I don't know about the spores.
All right. Michael, what do you want to do this week?
I would like to. Oh dear. Where did we arrive on the water? Getting the water uncursed?
So it is still cursed. You can distill the water, but that takes time and effort to distill it. So it is right now scarce still. It is a scarcity.
Okay. I want to start a project with the parish, conferring with them in light of this crystal energy discovery, if they have any ideas about repurifying the lake.
Hey, how many weeks?
2, because we've all been doing like crazy long week projects.
Yes, please.
Okay. All right, now it's Meg's turn. The King of Clubs. A natural disaster strikes the area. Choose one. You focus on getting everyone to safety, remove an abundance, and a project fails, or you focus on protecting your supplies and hard work at any cost. Several people die as a result.
The geyser started rumbling again and very quickly erupted once again without the crystals glowing. So weird. We never figured out why it happened the first time. And it just kept going for so long that it flooded the area. And the council was very preoccupied with trying to protect all of the research and the diplomats and yada yada yada. So people not so much.
It's right near this one of the mines. How about if the flood flooded the mine?
Oh.
Well, that's what they would have wanted to protect, is it not?
So it sounds like they would have protected the mine from flooding, but people would have perished in the effort.
Yep.
Oh.
Took out some homes.
How many people?
7.
7. Okay.
Well, there's not that many, James.
I
Yeah.
know. Well, that's fine.
So it's like a 60-person town or something.
Right.
But maybe a lot of them died. Who knows? All right.
Well,
I just want my brother
Allison's already gone because of fertility and health issues.
Well, they didn't die. They just can't reproduce. Elon Musk's worst nightmare. All right, our things go down. Our timers go down 1. What do you want to do this week?
I would like to start a project that is now it's probably only going to take 1 week because the fervor is just at an all-time high. The people are so upset with with the government, both for holding and interrogating minors for as long as they have, minors. So, for letting the flood overtake 7 people, and other stuff was destroyed, obviously, and people were injured as well. It's just only 7 that died.
Sure.
So between those 2 things, they're gonna like human rights it up and demand like either an overthrow, or they're gonna sue them, or whatever their version of that is in this.
Wait, so your project is a revolution?
Yep.
And it's only gonna take 1 week.
Yeah.
Wait,
I mean, there's
Okay.
only like 10 of them.
Right. That's what I'm saying. There's gonna be
there's
one
only
that-
5. There's
Oh, yeah.
only 5.
There's only
Oh
5.
man,
You're right.
this community is so healthy right now. Okay,
We're so happy about this.
that's great. We're gonna have 4 projects resolved next week. That's great.
What?
Might have been a
Katie-
mistake to count on this place to still be around in 200 years.
Well, we'll see. Who knows what form and shape it'll be in? Katie, the last week of autumn, the 4 of clubs. The strongest among you dies. What caused the death? Or the weakest among you dies. Who's to blame for their death?
Oh, okay. I was already thinking about doing this anyway. Yeah, so kind of reviving something. The council
It's a little
member whose child was supposedly eaten earlier had another child. Their second and last child now has also gone missing. Something very similar has happened, but this time they also find an arm. So it's not just a shoe left behind, it is the arm of little Jenny. And again, we see the worm signs. And they are going to blame the laborers who collapsed the tunnels before and caused the worms to start coming closer to the community. They're going to also blame and yeah, they're going to take it out too on the water flooded the mine, so they're also unhappy with the other council members as well. And yeah.
All right, so we got a
Oh, yeah.
real humdinger between the proletariat and the bourgeoisie now.
Real
Fantastic. This is Karl Marx, the D&D campaign.
This is lameness.
Everyone dies.
I'm gonna have somebody steal a loaf of bread.
It's Les Mis with giant worms. I got it.
Yeah,
And crickets.
as it goes. Okay, so let's resolve our projects.
Good.
Dun, 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 dun. Interrogate the Sampsons. What happens from interrogating the Sampsons, Sam?
Yeah, so for 3 weeks, the reason it takes 3 weeks is because the whole first week, as soon as they go to ask one of the Sampsons something, the other one starts talking at the same time, like a half a beat behind. So they're literally just saying the same thing and they can't get any sense out of it at all. The second week, both of them completely refuse to talk or answer any questions whatsoever because they're exhausted with it. But the third week, the Samson with all of the memories decides to he tells everyone that he God, what did he do? Ooh. Okay, no, you know what? Third week, OG Samson, so we think, asks where his amulet is and basically says he's not going to answer any questions without his amulet back in his hand.
Very nice.
Okay. This is the Samson with the memories.
As far as we know.
Well, no, I mean, so
Yes.
we wouldn't know which one is the original, right? So we would just know who
Right,
has the
yeah, yeah,
memories and who doesn't. Okay.
Yes.
Sure, yes.
All right, Michael, the project with the parish about the crystal energy and purifying the lake. What happened there?
The parish monks, we're gonna call them, consult some of their ancient texts and see that there is in fact a way to use the crystals to catch some of the lightning up in the mountains and store it in the crystals, and then take the crystal to the lake and use that lightning in a blessing.
Cool.
So the lake can be touched by
Absolutely.
the storm god.
Okay. All right. Am I missing a project other than the revolution? Is there another one? I don't think so.
Other than the
Anyone-
revolution.
that we haven't resolved? No, I don't think there's another one. Okay. So, Viva la Revolution. Oh, what happens?
Well, the council members gave a lot of thought and prayer to all the families and
Oh, boy.
promised that they were
Oh,
going to make
boy.
reforms. So people got bored and went home.
So it
Huh.
just sort of dissipated.
Fizzled.
It's like the
So
North Carolina
Samsons
teachers
are now
walk
like,
out 2
they're
years ago.
fine. They made a
Nice.
statement. In fact, Samson with the memories made a statement that everything was fine and they didn't mind, except that he needed his amulet before he would talk. So
People-
everybody's like, okay, well, I
Yep.
guess we can't be mad about that now that they're just like, they want to be there. They don't care. They're fine.
All right. Nihilism reigns supreme.
Indeed.
Okay. So still, Katie, it is still your turn. So what do you want to do this week as we head into winter?
I'm gonna make a discovery. One in the middle of the night, there is a distant screaming. And when people follow this screaming, they find that the purple crystal structures have been smashed, and the worms have all fled into the tunnels, but there's definitely like signs of like the worms are not happy.
They've been destroyed?
The crystals, the purple crystals that the worms were like that structure that had been built, the
Yeah.
crystals that people been that they've been nesting around, someone went and destroyed them, clearly displeased with this whole domestication.
All right. As autumn ends and we take a turn into winter, on top of all of the problems that are already facing your community, new people start arriving with ill omens. They kind of know why towns have been disappearing. There is a horde of undead just roaming the plains, consuming cities as they go. The people that die in those cities are then resurrected and made part of this horde. No one's quite sure how or why this is happening, but refugees are now streaming into the community. All right, with that, let's go to winter. Okie dokie. So that was Katie. So Sean,
Yes.
much like Lemmy Kilmeister, the Ace of Spades, now is the time to conserve energy and resources. A project fails but gain in abundance, or now is the time for hurried labor and final efforts. A project finishes early but gain a scarcity. You don't have any projects currently ongoing. That was a big doozy there at the end of fall.
Yeah. Okay. So
So-
what do we have in not in abundance right now? What do we have in scarcity right now?
Health and fertility. I would say water because we still haven't really purified the lake.
Yeah, that's got to be a problem. I was thinking.
Yeah.
So those are the two things that are currently in scarcity, unless you
Tourism.
wanted to add specific crystals as scarcity as well.
And tourism and firewood also.
Oh yeah, tourism and firewood are also in scarcity.
No, those aren't. I don't have them marked as scarcity. I just have them as they're just not in abundance.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
I thought that they were either scarce or abundant. I didn't realize that.
They can be all three.
James
Okay.
is right.
Got it. Okay.
3 bears rule.
Yeah.
So
Goldilocks rule.
this might be overreaching, but I'm gonna overreach.
Reach away.
In the purifying water project,
Michael, it could have been worse.
It could have been around, Michael. All right,
That's,
but,
you didn't have to say it, Sean. Go ahead.
I say anyway. In the purifying water project, there is more research that is done that is found, and it's found that the yellow crystals, when empowered by the Storm Lord, have healing properties, and we are able to begin to eradicate the disease. Not necessarily the fact that there are people that are still infertile. That's going to be a problem for a while, but we are able to begin curing the disease that people have been dealing with for the past few weeks, using the crystals. So we now have health in abundance again.
Okay.
And you said that's when the crystals are charged?
Yes, and those are the yellow crystals. Yes.
All right. What do you want to do this week?
I am going to. Let's see. I am going to start a project to research the sword down in the chasm, and I think that will take about. We probably won't finish it, but 3 weeks.
What? Okay. Who's after you?
Me.
Who's on my list next? That's right. It's Sam.
me.
Sam.
It's me.
Oh, the Jack of Spades. An infected outsider arrives seeking amnesty. They have some much-needed resources with them. Choose one. Welcome them into the community. Remove a scarcity, but also introduce an infection into the community. Or bar them from entry. What scarcity could they have addressed? How does its need become more dire this week?
Okay, so our scarcities are still fertility and water.
Correct.
Okay. So infected outsider, potentially, right?
Mm-hmm.
So somebody that has been fleeing these undead attacks on towns, this person takes refuge within the community, and they bring with them some supplies that they could have potentially gathered on their way out, but some raw yellow ore. It's not it has bits of dirt and other stuff inside of it, but could reasonably potentially be broken down into this yellow crystal that can be used to purify this water. But with winter coming and with all of our resources scattered absolutely everywhere, they're barred from entry, and they're like, nah, man, sorry.
Okay.
We can't, we already have this illness and these worms to deal with. We can't run the risk of, potentially introducing undead into our community as well.
All right. Great. What do you want to do this week?
I would like to discover something new.
Okay.
So after the Samsons are bet, I want my amulet back, it is discovered, or not discovered, I guess, that Handsome Dan has fled, and the amulet is nowhere to be found.
Oh, snap, Dan.
I love it.
Oh man, Handsome Dan's amulet's gonna have to be a thing in the game.
Yep.
Legendary item.
Call it Handsome Dan's amulet.
Yeah.
Handsome
The
Damulet.
handsome amulet.
Yes.
The Hamulet. I got it. The Hamulet.
There you go.
Oh no, a little too Shakespeare.
Oh, I thought it was a little too hammy.
Mm,
Let
pork jokes.
me just breathe into my mic again.
The Six of Spades. The time has come to consolidate your efforts and your borders. Projects located outside the settlement fail, and all remaining projects are reduced by 2 this week, or someone finds a curious opportunity on the edge of the map. Start a project related to this discovery.
Ooh.
I can't resist a
Yeah.
place to put something new. So they on the edge of the map, near up in the like northeastern corner of the map, past the temple. It is determined that there was an ancient prehistoric lake there, and when these prospectors came upon this spot and started digging around, they actually found some turtles, these giant colossal turtles that were buried in the dirt, but they weren't dead. They were alive, hibernating.
Okay. Project goes down 1. What do you want to do this week? Oh well, you get to start a project related to the discovery as well. So if you want to start a project as to those turtles, let me know.
Yeah, they wanted to project to figure out what's the deal with these turtles.
Okay. And so then you also can do something for the week.
Oh.
Jerry. The deal with these turtles.
Right.
What's
So I
up
can
with
do like
that?
another project that's like the turtle project is a given. Is that my
Okay.
understanding? To purify the lake, to try to get our water resource back up before the
How many
winter sets in.
weeks?
Oh, 4. That seem
right.
reasonable.
All
We
right.
know what to do. We just got to get the crystals, charge them up, and get them back down there.
Meg. 4 of Spades. All the animals and young children are crying and won't stop. Hold a discussion about this in addition to your regular action for this week, or a great atrocity is revealed. What is it? Who uncovers it? Chicken word. Atrocity.
It is a good word.
Very evocative.
Mm-hmm. Evocative atrocity.
It's a good band name.
That's an
Evocative.
album name.
Off band.
Yeah. Post-punk.
So
Yep.
I think an atrocity is discovered in the lake as they start trying to use the crystals, apply them to the water. The first thing that happens is just a shit ton of bodies float to the top.
Oh.
Whoa.
Yikes.
Who uncovers that? Just the people working on the purification process? Okay. Meg, that is fantastic. I'm so happy you did that.
Thank you.
All right. The sword research project finishes. Sean.
So they aren't able to determine what the writing is necessarily, but something that happens to them is when they come back out of the chasm, what they realize is that not all of them, but some of them have transformed in some way, and some of them have kept the dark vision that they were able to have down in the chasm. So when they come back out of the chasm, yes, they had dark vision in it, but some people actually keep that. Some people's skin colors have changed, and some people are more able to. Some people now suddenly realize that they can actually perform magic having not known magic before.
Interesting.
Okay. All right, Meg, what do you want to do this week?
Oh, right. Still my turn.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose we should launch an investigation into all these bodies.
Okay, so that's
What?
start a project.
Yeah.
All right, how long is the body investigation going to take?
2 weeks.
Okay.
Then they'll stop giving resources and give up.
Oh, we don't need to know where all these mysterious bodies came from. That's not important. Katie, 8 of spades. Winter is harsh and desperation gives rise to fear-mongering. Choose one. Spend the week calming the masses and dispelling their violent sentiments. The week ends immediately. Or declare war on someone or something. This counts as starting a project.
Oh my god.
Vive la revolution!
Oh my god. I think I want to declare war.
Yeah, you do.
Because it can
We're
never
learning-
be
we're-
easy.
We're learning about
Um,
food this evening, folks.
Yeah, we're gonna declare war. Actually the disillusioned council member decides to declare war. And it's against I guess it's against the working class.
Oh.
Whoa!
Like the
Class
people who are
warfare.
protesting, like specifically. And of course there's gonna be collateral, right? So they're trying to recruit people to their side. They're like against whoever idea it was to domesticate those evil worms. They're against the people who collapsed the tunnels. They're against the miners who are continuing to mess things up and disrupt these worms. And they kind of just want to murder all the worms too. So they're just real upset.
So we're
But
fascist.
there's a lot of people who are with them.
Oh,
'Cause,
boy,
yeah,
capital
it's a
capital
problem.
has turned on labor. This is a dark turn. All right.
The worms will save them.
The worm has turned.
Yes.
And we'll
Oh no!
turn our projects down 1 week. Katie, what do you want to do this week?
God, I don't know. I just started a war.
Oh, you know
do
what?
want
You know
to
what?
do?
Project, isn't it?
The declaring war counts as starting a
Yeah.
project, so we'll leave it
Oh,
at that.
does it mean that I get two actions?
I think
though?
I
Usually
think in
it
this
is.
because in this particular card, the first option is the week ends immediately, and the second option is this counts as starting a project. We'll leave it at that.
Fine by
Okay.
me.
Makes sense, actually.
And well, an interesting time to leave our community, for the Frost Shepherds have arrived.
Burn.
Just
God.
just as the bourgeoisie declare war on the proletariat.
Do you hear the people sing?
Another threat arrives at your doorstep because the undead horde is here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They are here, and they are legion. And that is the end of the quiet year.
What?
Of
The
course.
quiet year is no longer very quiet. So, that is going to do it for us tonight, everybody. Thank you for joining us, whether you're watching live or watching later. We'll be back in 2 weeks with our first Dungeons and Dragons session. We're going to meet our characters at that time, and we'll begin play in this very interesting little world that we've created. I'll explain a little bit how that D&D game is going to be a little different than what you're used to at that time, but we're very excited to bring that to you. If you liked what you saw, please like the video, leave a comment if you're watching it later, and do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications so you know when we have new videos out. Next Wednesday, Michael will have a video out, the Level Up show, where he's going to keep talking to you about more the life of being a game master and what that looks like. It's going to be great. If you really liked what we saw, We do have a Patreon that is at patreon.com/Grimstone Gaming Group. You can go there and look at that. The Quiet Ear was written and created by Avery Alder. You can find it and his other works at buriedwithoutceremony.com. The music that we had tonight was by Harris Heller of Streambeats. He is on Spotify and at streambeats.com. You can email us. You want to drop us a line, shoot us a line at grimstonegaminggroup@gmail.com. And if you want to see us on social media, we're at Grimstone Gaming on Facebook and TikTok, and at grimstone.gaming on Instagram. For Michael, Katie, Meg, Sam, and Sean, we'd like it to be known the exhibits that were shown are exclusively our own, all our own. Thanks for watching, and never stop playing.